More concerned about giving huge tax breaks to the wealthiest people in this country. But, Mr. President, the tax issue is just one part of what some of our wealthy friends want to see happen in this country. The reality is that many of these folks want to bring the United States back to where we were in the 1920s. And they want to do their best to eliminate all traces of social legislation which working families fought tooth and nail to develop to bring a modicum of stability and security to their lives. There are people out there, not all, but there are some who want to privatize or completely eliminate Social Security. They want to privatize or cut back substantially on Medicare. Yeah, you're 75 years of age and you have no money. Good luck to you getting your health insurance at an affordable cost from a private insurance company. I am just sure there are all kinds of private insurance companies out there just delighted to take care of low-income seniors who are struggling with cancer or another disease.
Now, this may be the socialist that you're talking about, and frankly, I think he's right. I'm existing on Social Security right now. I don't want a private company to handle it. I paid into it. I want to get it back out again. I think, and I think all of the older folks out there feel the same way. You're listening to Senator Bernie Sanders, and in the first part of this interview, or this he's speaking before the Senate. In the first part of this, he told you about the banksters. He told you about the wealthy banking companies here. He didn't tell you exactly. He skirted around it a little bit. You can, but if you get my book, Mystery Babylon, you can read the whole history of the banking families. If there wasn't, as their mother said, if it wasn't for my sons, if they want war, there will be war. Now, this is the playing field, folks. And it's the only one. And I've told you in my videos, True Face of FEMA, I filmed the first Homeland Security meeting. They're saying the next war is here. It's here in the United States. And it's going to be a long war. What they're talking about, it's going to be longer than the Cold War. It's interesting that they used the Cold War to compare it to, because that was a war we fought for 40 years, and to this day I'm not sure who won. We've got more communists in this country, and they're posing that they're banksters. The communists took over the bankers. Hell, the banksters started the communism, so this is our enemy. This is what Grandma was trying to tell you in this code of silence that I shared with you on the first half. War is the ultimate discipline to any government. If it can successfully meet the challenge of war, it'll survive. If it cannot, it'll perish. All else is secondary. The sanctity of its laws, prosperity of its citizens, the solvency of its treasury will quickly be sacrificed by any government in its primal act of survival. All that is necessary, therefore, is to ensure that a government will maintain or expand its debt is to involve it in war, the threat of war. The greater the threat, the more destructive the war, the greater the need for debt. And to involve a country in a war or the threat of war, it will be necessary for it to have enemies with credible military might. If such enemies already exist, all the better. If they exist but lack military strength, it will be necessary to provide them money to build their war machines. This is what's happened in Red China. This is what's happened in Korea. This is what's happened everywhere. Everywhere except Iran or Iraq, and where these people tried to be independent and stay away from these banksters, and they brought them in. They brought us in. They did the same thing in Vietnam. All based on lies. Because the ultimate obstacle is a government which declines to finance wars through debt. Though, although this seldom happens, when it does, it will be necessary to encourage internal political opposition, insurrection, or revolution to replace that government with one that is more compliant to our will. The assassination of heads of state could play an important role in this process. Finish up, Bernie.
Mr. President, furthermore, there are corporate leaders out there and many members of Congress who not only want to continue, they want to expand our disastrous trade policies. My wife and I went shopping the other day, started our Christmas shopping. And we looked and virtually every product that was out there in the store, consumer products, was China, China, and China. We seem to be a country in which we have a 51st state named China, which is producing virtually all of the products that we as Americans consume. Our trade policy has resulted in the loss of millions of good-paying jobs as large corporations and CEOs have said, why do I want to reinvest in America when I can go to countries where people are paid 50 cents, 75 cents an hour? That's what I'm going to do, to act with the working people of this country. So not only are we saddled with this disastrous trade policy, there are people who actually want to expand it.
This is globalization in action. This is your new world order. And you and your productivity, America's productivity over the last 100 years has been usurped and stolen by these banksters. I've told you about it, and Bernie Sanders' first comment here was, "We are in a war." And I am a casualty of the war. Basically, they've wounded me a few times, but they have tried to kill me to keep me from getting the information out. Now, I'm taking my information that I put in my books over the last 40 years, I'm taking that directly to the people. I've tried to contact agents, I've tried to contact publishers, but all of and our founding fathers told us about this. They told us about this. They said, if you ever allow a private bank to issue your money, they and the corporations that spring up around them will leave your children homeless in the land we conquered. Folks, that's right where we are right now. And it's going to crack down. When you're finding a lot of Americans are starting to wake up and say, wait a minute. These banksters just stole $2 trillion from us. Man, my grandkids won't pay that. Well, yeah, if you're a young person, your grandchildren will never be able to pay off the interest on that debt. It's a Ponzi scheme. The banksters are your enemies, and they're the ones in the three-piece suits going up into the World Trade Center, or the ones that didn't go up into the World Trade Center on 9/11. Okay? A couple more. And, well, wait. While he's talking about this attack on our economy, let me insert this. Emergency room physician was talking to some friend, and he said that a woman in her 20s came to the ER with her 8th pregnancy. She stated, "My mama told me I am the breadwinner for the family." He asked her to explain. She said that she can make babies and babies get money for the family. The scam goes like this. The grandma calls the Department of Children and Family Services and states that the unemployed daughter is not capable of caring for these children. DCFS agrees and states that the child or children need to go to foster care. The grandma then volunteers to be the foster parent and receives a check for $1,500 per child per month in Illinois. Total yearly income, $144,000 tax-free, not to mention free health care, plus a monthly card entitling her to free groceries and a voucher for 250 free cell phone minutes per month. This does not even include the WIC or other welfare payments. Indeed, Grandma was correct in that her fertile daughter is the breadwinner for the family. This is how the ruling class spends your tax dollars.
Now, one of the things that we're going to see going on